Have you ever wondered why athletes are so often stretched on the sideline, or what the purpose and science is of these stretches? You might be surprised to know that most top athletes in the world are often stretching multiple times a day, 7 days a week. Well, what if I told you that these professional abilities can be learned and demonstrated in a 5 minute video like this? Hi, my name is Casey Grimes, and I am a fourth year student athletic trainer at Vandergrift High School, and I have interned with Tillman Physical Therapy and the Texas Stars, along with working at USA Volleyball tournaments, hosting over 2,000 athletes. And today, I'm going to be demonstrating how to stretch the hamstrings of an athlete. So to prepare to stretch, you need a nice open area or a table, and then of course you need an athlete to stretch. First, let's go over the basic anatomy of the area that we're going to be stretching. In the lower leg, you have your gastrocnemius, which runs in two muscles and inserts down at the Achilles and into the heel bone called the calcaneus. Higher than that, in what's called the groin, you have your adductors, which is the adductor brevis and the adductor longus and the adductor magnus on the low side. And then you have your hamstrings. And on this medial side, you have your semimembranosus and then your semitendinosus. And then on the lateral side, into two muscles, and your main hamstring muscle is the biceps femoris, which runs from the gluteus maximus up and inserts at the knee. Before extensively stretching an athlete, I want to make sure that their muscles are nice and warm and pliable. This is done with either a heat pack or Whirlpool or some mobility. After that, I want to make sure that they're lying supine, which means face up, and then I want to make sure that they're completely relaxed. And this can be done with what I call the drop test, which is where I will pick up the leg I'm about to stretch, and then I will attempt to drop it and then catch it. But if it holds, like he did here, it means that they're not completely relaxed and they don't trust me quite as much yet. So I'm going to keep doing this drop test and comforting them until I'm able to drop their leg and be able to catch it without any resistance from them, knowing that that leg is completely relaxed. Now, while I'm stretching, I want to make sure that I'm holding each stretch for at least 6 seconds, which allows time for the Golgi tendon organ, which is located at the origin and insertion of most muscles, but especially the hamstring, which will allow the muscle to relax from its contraction, allowing me to push it into a further stretch. After that, I'll hold each stretch for 15 to 30 seconds. So we'll start with the vertical raise stretch, which is where I will simply bring the leg up towards his body. And you'll see that my right hand is covering the unused leg. This is to keep it stationary, because if I'm not, as I push his leg into a further stretch, the used leg will begin to pull the opposite leg with it to attempt to cheat out of the stretch. So I will push that leg down to ensure he's getting a full stretch. Once I've passed that 6 seconds and then another 15 with just the vertical leg stretch, what I can do to increase it and put the gastrocnemius in the equation, I will pull down on his toes and he'll begin to feel the stretch more low, like right here. From here, I can then externally rotate the foot, bringing the stretch more medial. For each of these, I want to hold for at least 6 seconds and then that 15 to 30 second range. After I'm done with that, I will stretch the groin area, which is these adductors here. And to do so, I'll have my hand again at that knee to make sure that this leg is stationary, and I will pull the leg outside. Once I've held this for at least 6 seconds, I will again pull down on the toes and then externally rotate the foot. Once I've held this for that 6 seconds and then another 30 seconds, I would cross over the body and adduct the leg so that it's across the body, and while I'm here, I will put a force onto the heel, trying to make sure that it's hipped, and then that both of his shoulders are down on the table or floor, wherever you're doing the stretch. And then I'll move the leg up towards his torso on a horizontal plane while keeping his hip down. Once I feel that I'm at a point where his range of motion is maxed, I'll then pull down on his toes and hold that for at least 6 seconds, and then externally rotate his foot, again for at least 6 seconds. Once I'm done with that, one of the last stretches to do for the hamstring is simply a knee to the chest, and that's where, again, holding stationary the unused leg, I'll pull the used leg knee to his chest. And this is stretching the lower, or the upper hamstrings muscles, and then as well as the gluteus maximus. And what you'll notice is as he's laughing and exhaling, it's allowing me to push the stretch further and further. After holding for at least 6 seconds, then to 15-30 seconds, I can then release knowing that he had a full stretch. And that is a technique that I use when I'm stretching my athletes. So that's all there is to it. In this video, we discuss the science behind stretching and the different technique you can use in the various ways to stretch the hamstring. You can now take this information and use it to improve the athletic ability of your peers and your own athletes, or you can teach those peers so that they can use it on you. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay healthy.